Man, that intro is always lagging. So it's like
it is. I don't know if it's I don't know if it's on my side, if it's on the intro and outro side of StreamYard with them. I wonder if we almost just need it. Maybe we need to have Manny make it like 10 seconds longer so it has more time to catch up even. But
well, I don't know. Have you actually watched the replay of it and see what it looks like?
yeah. But
Is it lagged on the replay?
Not really. I think it is more just on our side from being in the StreamYard. Like once the video's like condensed and posted, I don't think it's a big issue, but maybe someone in the comments can let us know if as they're watching it live, if it's laggy.
Well, nobody was on when it started unless they started over, but we'll check it out. I'll have to go in there and relook at it, see what's happening. So, but we'll kind of give it a little second here before we dive into. We'll start with the pick'em because that's what we're gonna do, and then we'll go into a few other things. So, oh, look at that! You leaked it. You leaked it. You gotta give him a second. We only got 3 people. Oh, look at that.
If you saw it, you got the leak. If not,
oh man, I tell you, Jay Soto's here. Rusty obviously was first. He's always first. so we need to snipe that guy's first. He's always in here.
He's passionate
about
it.
It's good. It's good. It's great. Keep him going. Well, see Jay Soto. See, he got the leak.
Well, he looked at it also.
Oh, did he? Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
I mean, it's public for all of our pick'em people. They can look at it whenever they want. I don't think too many people do because
I haven't.
I only update it once a month. Yeah, you're not doing hot. I'll say that.
I haven't done anything with my picks at all.
I was like, you got all these swaps. You just need to.
Oh, I know. I gotta do something, but I haven't done shit. We'll see. We'll see what happens. Maybe I'll get my mind right here.
Yeah.
Get back into it. So maybe I should try to win because what I'll do is if I win, that deep device will go into the little pool thing that we're going to talk about later as well. So
yeah, absolutely.
That'd be a good idea. Anyway, so let's start it up. We got a few people on here. They can always go back and listen to it or start from the beginning. Lasagna just keeps winning. Just keeps winning.
It was his dang, and this did it for him last year at one point too. That pond coin that he's been so fervent about.
That guy, man, he loves that thing.
Ripped in the past 30 days. It had a great 1 month cycle over March.
It did well for him. I think he was posting a lot on Twitter about that win for him. In that sense, it was well needed. He's been looking for a job, and I believe he got the job he was looking for. It was good. Like, I'm happy for him. So
awesome.
That's good great. Shit. Yeah. Hit me up in the DMs. I should have these devices sometime this month, and I'm going to M-Ice. He's a local sort of. So I'm probably going to take the Cybertruck up there and have coffee and drop his off. And then Lasagna, I'm not going to take the Cybertruck over to Georgia, I believe is where you're at.
Big old drive.
I should. Timbo will be like, bro, come over. Yeah. That's a long drive. Yeah. So, but we'll get that off to you as soon as I get those in. I'll send those out. So,
a lot better month overall than February was. If you look at the whole, in February, M-Ice was the only person that broke even. Yeah. March, we at least had 5.
We had a few.
Yeah,
am I at the very bottom?
Yeah.
It should be. Yeah. Good job.
You're dead last.
Good job, Porch. Good job.
Because that A1
and I haven't changed it. I keep telling I know it's dead, but I haven't changed it out. Like it's easy. Change it to USDC. It'll do 900 times better. So
yeah.
But BDAZ 808, second place. Yeah. That's
better
good.
Month overall. And look, I mean, I had to increase the decimals because we had a dead tie. Now, obviously, we're not necessarily giving out a prize for second and third place, but I was like, oh shoot, I want to see how close that was. I was like, dang, That's really damn close. So
it was close. And we had what did we do? Top 3 in the last months, or was it just monthly winners? We just did monthly winners
it was
last
monthly
time.
winners, and then on the yearly we did
We
the
did,
top 3
yeah.
breakdown.
Which we'll do that when we end this in June too. So
Yep.
That's cool, man. Good. I'm happy Lasagna got that. I'm only excited to send him off deep. I think he has one already. So, but I will. Ape will not rise again, bro. Does he really have Ape? Look at his.
Should I look at him?
Yes, you should.
Let's see where
You better
he's
not
at.
have Ape. And if you do, I want to know the reason.
Yeah,
oh
100%.
my lord! What? What? I'm just gonna say it right now. That's worse than my random AI.
To be fair, this is what doing this method is it what won MICE last year. He was all Joe Coin, 100%.
Last month, you mean?
Yeah.
He said last year. Fartcoin rising. Fartcoin is the people's token, bro.
It's done great.
Fartcoin is the people's token. It's going to be the one that when we do hit a bull run, and we'll talk about where I think we're at, and with all the crazy shit that's going on, Fartcoin will probably do really good. I mean, there's so many. These tokens are just so dead. It's crazy. Like the market has crypto Twitter is just silent. Like it's just it's rough. Like no joke. It's rough. Like I'm behind on some leverage longs by a long shot. So I'm just holding them through. I don't recommend that to anybody, by the way. This is not financial advice, so it should be ticking at the bottom down here.
Where's my banner?
But yeah, it's this 100% caught me by surprise. The amount of the dip that this has really pushed at this time frame. Look, shit, people are wrong. I was wrong. But with that, I don't think we're out of the bull market at all. So we'll move on from the pick'em. Good job, Lasagna. Hit me up in the DMs with your address, and I'll get that off to you. I'll find out. I think it should be coming in here in a couple of weeks. We got our last shipment of these sold out Founders devices, by the way.
Awesome.
We have a few that we're holding on to internally just for, and they won't be running. They're literally on the side for replacements or hardware issues, that kind of stuff. So, but for all intents and purposes, we are completely sold out. We had a great deep / grid sale combo that we did there. Excited about that. The GG Collective, they jumped on. They got the grid nodes as well. So,
yep,
good stuff. Good stuff. I got random stuff on this chart. Let's take the random stuff off because I want to say,
looking on the monthly here.
Yeah, well, I want to look on the monthly first. Well, just because when you're talking about people, this was last month here, and it was a red month, and people still getting, the over 100% on their pick is great because it was still rough. Like, we're still in terms of Bitcoin itself, and when unless you had Bitcoin, like, I mean, it's just a rough time frame for everybody to be in. So, I mean, it's not the regular Ichimoku, but it'll give you the idea. But I look at this just purely to show where we are at and the trend of everything that's going on monthly. Like, we're bullish, like we're not going anywhere on the monthly. The weekly is the one I really like to look at. As you can see, a little bit of correction here. But we're still full bull. Everything is full. You start to be cautious in this area, and if we lost the baseline, I would be more on the signs of like, ooh, this could be really rough, and that's on a close on the weekly. So in reality, we're still in the bull run. Like, we're still there. We're not, I know there's a lot of doom and gloom out there. The tariffs are freaking people out, and the fact that the Fed just came out and said what did it say here? Summary of Fed Chair Powell's comment says tariffs are larger than expected, posing risks of higher inflation and slower growth. It's too soon to determine the appropriate path for monetary policy. The Fed is well positioned to wait for greater clarity. That, I mean, for people, is probably freaking them out even more because what do you mean waiting for greater clarity? Like, this is, people are wanting interest rates, and that'll probably be the turning point, is my guess, is the moment the Fed like turns around, lowers interest rates, stuff like that. Without getting political on everything, like, it's actually interesting to me to see how all this is kind of playing out in terms of this game of tariffs. And to be completely honest, I didn't know shit about tariffs until all this stuff came through, and so I don't know enough to be an expert on it. Just reading, like a lot of you are too, is it definitely affects prices and it affects businesses. The hope is we get some businesses coming back to America. Great. Hopefully we can all chill out and maybe take some tariffs back off and resume up only, please.
Yeah, it's one of those things. I'm waiting to see what happens over the weekend into next week. Just considering the last two times, granted they were smaller scale tariffs against just two countries rather than a large portion of our trading partners. But I wonder how many of these are going to stay long term, and if there will just, if it's going to be another. I don't know.
It'll be negotiation tactics. We'll see it. I mean, literally, it's only been 2 days. People are freaking out. I mean, in reality, too. I want to look at the S&P, right? So everyone wants to look at S&P or the Dow. Dow's for 90-year-olds. That's a rough chart, man. That's a rough weekly candle for SPY. That's S&P, so use SPY, use S&P 500. It mirrors it. It's the trading, the index that you could trade on. So yeah, I mean, somewhere along the lines we can potentially trade in the cloud, like we saw. Was this in 22? That trade through the cloud, trade up that way. It doesn't look pretty at all. So the interesting part with if we look at the daily, with that massive drop there, and then we go back to Bitcoin, right? There's not the same. This is good news for crypto wise. Like, there's not the same massive drop in terms of when you look at where Bitcoin is on the daily, in terms of this is definitely you. If you're trading the daily, the cloud's telling you should be in a trade. You should be waiting for some confirmation, meaning like the conversion baseline cross. The price, going back above that, into the cloud, above the cloud. Those are some areas that you look at. So you're sidelined here if you're trading on the daily. If you're long term, like you said, on the weekly, you're just you're golden bozos. Just hold on. So, but again, and I know I can compare, but it's going to take me too long to bring them up. But the crypto market is holding up better in terms of than the legacy market. So
absolutely. I mean, you look at any major, I mean, all the big stocks are down 6 to 10% right now over the past 48 hours. So, looking at Bitcoin be not close to that.
No, I mean, you're looking at your big bank ones. I mean, this is DPSC, it's a leverage one, but it's looking at your regional bank shares. Like, it got hit hard. Obviously Tesla's taken a beating, but still not as hard. I mean, I think interesting one, GME. I mean, they came out and said what did they get, 1.8 billion that they were going to put into Bitcoin.
Yeah, I think
they raised 1.8 billion to buy Bitcoin or something along those lines. So those type of stocks themselves holding up more. Coin, dead. Not dead. Sorry, it's not dead. It'll come back with crypto. You're fine.
Getting hammered though.
Yeah, I don't do anything. I mean, I watch Legacy for just purely like, what is the market doing and where's it at? Otherwise, I have some Coinbase calls, but again, that's it. Literally it. Sol. I'm gonna take the Ichi Cloud off just because it muddles it up. Let me remove stuff here because I mean this, Sol just doesn't look good. Doesn't look good overall. But I think really what we're seeing is a shift in you know, the meme coins were what really created a massive, you know, liquidity event in Sol itself. Like it was like the NFTs for Ethereum, right? And I'm seeing, obviously, I'm bullish on AVAX and what they're doing with their L1s. It's not my favorite chart. You know, anything outside of Bitcoin really is, you know, not the best. Like,
no,
if we can recover this little zone right here, yeah. Let's see here, this guy here, and make that a higher low, right? You know, we're looking at that. That would be fantastic in terms of movement, and you know, recover 87. That, for me, you're back in the bull run. If we're going to be moving away from a correlation with the stock market, that's even better. Thank you. That would be great. There's so much good news that comes out about crypto and Bitcoin every day.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
People, like you said, GME buying, you know, 1.8 billion. What other state has just put in a Bitcoin strategic reserve, right? Like, how many cases with the SEC have been dropped? You know, like
a lot.
It's kind of funny. It's, there's like crime season's back kind of situation. It's kind of thing. It sucks on that end, but it's like they were over regulated. So I think, you know, taking them back and then you know, then actually getting regulations that people can understand and push that forward, and then move in a direction at that point in time. Great. Like something that's not so overly ridiculous like we've seen.
Yeah, I think a lot. I mean, I feel like the average person in the crypto space doesn't want the bad actors to be in the crypto space as well. And so if you do go after it in a kind of witch hunty style, it's, you know, it's not going to work. So
yeah. Oh yeah, for sure. Definitely isn't going to work. Yeah. So, I mean, really going into it, I'm not going to chart everything because everything looks like shit. In reality, is like, you know, if you really want to see something, like you think this is the one, I'll pull it up for you. But I do want to show you the worst chart in the world just because it's fun to look at.
Gross.
It's even better when you put it when you take it off log. Like, it's just so bad. Like, it's just so bad. You know, again, you know, they've dug their own hole, but sorry, I just had to do that.
It's wild.
But I mean, yeah, anyways, hang in there. If you guys are around, you're, you know, if, like I posted on Twitter the other day, like if you're literally Rusty Gala to 10 cents, I doubt it. Highly doubt it. Like, there's
no way.
There's too much sell pressure on that. There's absolutely no, like, you know, no reason why anybody's even diving into Gala.
No, and there's still so many people trying to get out. It's like, it's just a continue. I mean, and they can't, right?
I had a call yesterday from a guy that I helped get a node back when they were $1,500, a single node, right? And he hasn't done anything with it at all. Like, and he's like, "Can I sell that node? Like, you've mentioned something." I was like, "Yeah." He's like, "Well, do it for me." So okay, so I got to sit down with him and sell his node. It's like, yeah, there goes, you know, 6 hours of my life. You know, trying to, you know, one, does he even remember his password? We'll figure it out. Yeah, maybe Eric will come up with a new scam to bring in new people. You know, he's definitely got the you know, the eye on the ball when it comes to scams, you know, and you know, or pumping garbage. Like, what do we got that's going to announce it? I mean, he was trying to show that he's literally like, I'm on Gala, or I'm trying to get Gala in as a the chain for the government to use and all those things. So who knows? Jay, so it's not really hard to sell a node once you do it. I did a video on it a while back. It's not too difficult. It's just there's a lot of steps to do it. Only because it has to go through an escrow type account. So you've got to verify, you got to wait for people to do it. You also have to pay a whole bunch of money if you own a node. Like, it's 20% of, or I don't even remember now, but it's a significant amount to make your node transferable. and then the person that gets the node has to pay a certain amount to actually make it non-transferable and earn. So they're just siphoning off, and it's bullshit. So is it 2 to 3 month distro? Good Lord, have mercy. That's insane.
Oh man.
But I will say this: Gala nodes have produced for ages and ages, and the founders nodes have, and they're still producing like $5 a day or something like that. So, whatever is what it is. So moving on from markets, I want to talk about something that I have been rolling around for a long time that I'm going to do, and it affects all of you hammer holders out there. So I did the hammers a while ago, more as a gatekeeping for the Discord. It's kind of fallen the wayside. Like I'm not as present in there. I'm just so busy with other stuff. But there's a lot of things that I appreciate with the community in general. Supporting different projects that I put out. Just being a part of the Discord. There's a lot of great information. A lot of great people that are still in the Discord. I'd love to revamp that if anybody wants to help volunteer to kind of do little things with the Discord, and just keep it a little bit more active for people. There's tons of good information, but the hammers themselves, I'm going to do a new hammer drop. We're going to do it on AVAX. We're going to do 1,776 of them. Anybody that has a current hammer holder will be able to claim a 1776 hammer for free, or whatever the fee is, the gas fee is, and you can claim that. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to taking 50%, well 45% of, because the GG owns 5% of the actual Titan, and I'm going to take earnings of that other. I'm going to keep half on myself, and then the other 45%, I'm going to take those earnings and I'm going to put that into a pool. I have a bulk amount of Gala nodes left over, around 60, that I'm going to put into that pool. I have Myriad nodes. So 45% of the earnings of the T1 Titan. That's the only one that's a fraction of it. The other ones, I'll give wallet addresses. People can see stuff that's in there. And what's going to go in that. But Gala nodes, so 60 of those. There's 6 Myriad nodes in 3 different accounts. I think I've got a high chain node. I've got a playable node that I'll put in there. There's a few other assets that are in there that are earning on the back end. I'm going to put all those in there and share in that revenue. That's going to come in with the hammer holders. So anyone that's a hammer holder now, obviously that's just going to write to you. You don't have to do anything besides claim that on the AVAX chain. I'm currently just looking. I can't pull from people that are working on Deep and everything else to help with this, but we're actively looking for some other people to help kind of develop it. We've got some internal stuff with the collective that'll work on it, and then the rest of those I'm going to sell. And there's a couple projects that money is going to go towards, and we'll announce those as we move down the road here. So but yeah, that's kind of the plan. So it's a reward for all of you hammer holders that have been around. There'll be a claim period. I'm sure I've sent some out that people don't listen, aren't around, and that's fine. But we're going to have a claim period for those people.
Yep.
If they don't claim it, then it'll just go into the sell market. And so what I'm also going to do is reward the people that have been a part of the community, since we have the sales, both of the GG token and the founders Deep devices. You guys that have supported the projects that are there, there's going to be some sort of multiplier in terms of like what your share of that earning is, because you are a device owner, GG token holder, and a hammer holder. So those 3 together. So again, you've already been there. You've done that. This is kind of a way that from me that's going to reward you guys for being a part of this. And it's kind of a thank you. Obviously, of trying to do good projects and put some cool stuff out. And you guys are going to be rewarded from those as well, obviously. But just being a part of the community and pushing that out. Community is a big part, obviously, with everything that I do, and just that's it. And so there'll be more information coming out if you're listening and you want to help out in that. I've already got a designer for the hammers right now. So
if what we need help with, if there's anyone out there that's wanting to help, is going to be the NFT contract creation itself. I could probably figure it out. I don't think we don't need very many requirements in it, but if there's anyone out there that has experience in creating, AVAX NFTs or EVM NFTs that wants to help us out, all the help is greatly appreciated. So,
yeah, and I've reached out to AVAX themselves just because we're working with them with Deep and whatnot. So I've kind of reached out to them as well just to kind of get some. There's other people that might want to help, but if you want to, hit me up.
Give me a DM.
Yeah. So Albert, he's been designing hammers. He gave me like 9 million of them. I looked through them like, bro, that's too many. But we got to figure out if we're going to do levels, like if we're going to have like an ancient hammer and that kind of stuff. The hammer itself is playable in NFTD as well. It is the most powerful tower in NFTD.
It is.
Just saying. And that's going to be making a big comeback here soon because I know the team has started working on that again. There's been a little hiatus and some stuff, but they're jumping back in and got a lot of cool stuff that they're going to start working on. So, but yeah, that's pretty much it, man. That's the gist of what I wanted to do. So,
yeah,
questions, anything from the crowd out there? What do you want to know?
My perspective, I'm excited. I think it's going to be cool like you said, just getting more engagement and opportunities out there for, the people that have been a part of these projects. Like you said right there, Jay Soto, some sort of special hammer for the GG or Deep holders could be really cool.
That could be a good idea in terms of it being, I'd have to get a count, right, of who's a GG holder, who's an actual device holder, and or maybe we make it so they merge it so they can say, oh yeah, in your wallet you have this, or you put your wallets and it shows, and then we can do some crypto crafting. That's a little more intense than what we would do. It's not out of the realm. I think that would be pretty damn cool actually. And then you'd have that rare, rare hammer,
like a deep colored hammer.
Yeah, because you're an OG hammer holder. Because it would be for only OG hammer holders that are going to get the multiplier, right? In terms of like with the GG and the Deep holders.
Yep.
The regular hammers are going to get the regular distro. So,
yep.
But yeah, that's a cool idea. I like that.
Jay said, I'm not sure if we're going to do a form yet. We might just do like, in terms of like figuring out who has what, we might just try to do just some.
I think it'd be easier to just do a Collab Land wallet.
Yeah.
And just be able to ping it and say, do you have these things in your wallet? I think that would probably be the easiest one.
Yeah. So
yeah,
we'll get you more information.
Actually, that would work out well because we could do that all through AVAX, because obviously you're going to have a Deep device that's going to be on Avalanche. You're going to have a GG token that's on Avalanche, and you're going to have the hammer that you claim, which will be on Avalanche. So that would kind of work out.
Yeah, I think that would work really well.
Sweet.
Cool.
Yeah. We'll kind of have Albert. Albert's the one that's been designing a lot of the hammers. So I'll have him drop a few of I think he has in the Discord pushed a couple of
He did, yes. Yeah, he did post some a week or two ago when we kind of first started talking, when you first kind of threw out in the Discord the idea of wanting to get something moving more with the hammers.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Cool. All right. There's nothing else. It's a short one. Just wanted to update people, kind of get some info out there. We'll be dropping some more stuff here over the next month or two with obviously the hammers. We'll give people plenty of time for claiming those hammers. We'll probably give 30 days for claiming those hammers once it's available that way. So I'd imagine summertime is going to be when we start to see things really kind of roll out with that. But yeah, keep an eye out for it. And if you have suggestions or ideas, hit us up in the Discord. And if you want to help out in any way, send me a DM, and love to get you guys on board.
Awesome.
Sweet. Cool, guys. Well, thanks a lot.
Yeah, we'll see you later.
Bye.